I'm Meg Harper, and this is my audience today. With the incoming Hurricane Florence affecting the East Coast, President Trump has another storm on his radar, the past Hurricane Maria. Today, I will be discussing Trump's stand on this controversial issue as well as the news sources covering the topic. Knowing the accuracy of his allegations as well as the media surrounding it can affect how you vote in the presidential election in 2020. I have researched this topic for weeks and I am prepared to discuss with you the accuracy of Trump's allegations as well as the media covering it. Trump disagreed with a George Washington University study about the death toll of Hurricane Maria, so I will be discussing this as well as the news sources and the bias around them. So Trump has his opinions, but what is the media saying? Trump disagreed with a George Washington University study regarding the death toll in Puerto Rico of Hurricane Maria. The study said the deaths rose from about 64 people to about 3,000 people. Adam Edelman from NBC News says that this jump in the death toll rate made the population decrease about 8%. John Wagner and Joel Achenbach from the Washington Post agree that everyone in the study was unbiased. The deaths were compared to past expected death rates in Puerto Rico, and this is how they came up with the 3,000 death rates. Trump believed that old age was included in this study, which is incorrect because this would have brought the death toll to around 16,000 rather than 3,000. Trump thought that old age was included in the study and that the study itself was faked by Democrats in order to make him lose the election. William Cummings from USA Today shared Trump's tweet, which said, 3,000 did not die in Puerto Rico. This was done by the Democrats in order to make me look as bad as possible. Bad politics. I love Puerto Rico. If a person dies for any reason, like old age, just add them onto the list. Both the left and the right side of politics disagree with Trump's statements about this study. Chris Cillizza from CNN said that prominent Florida Republicans, including Governor Scott and Senator Rubio, sent tweets disagreeing with Trump. William Cummings from USA Today shares Rubio's tweet, which said, even tragedy is political. We need to stop the blame game. Courtney O'Brien from Town Hall shares San Juan's Mayor Cruz's tweet, this is what denial looks like. Mr. President, in the real world, people died on your watch. Your lack of respect is appalling. Now I want to share with you all the accuracy and the bias of the news sources covering this story. My first source comes from CNN reporter Chris Cillizza. I believe that this article is biased towards the left side of politics. The title of the article is Trump's tweets show he can always go lower, which automatically shows distaste with President Trump. He says, there is no depth Trump will not explore to further his own narcissism and political agenda. Cillizza shares the facts about the study and Trump's allegations, but he mostly just focuses on ridiculing Trump in the article. My second article comes from USA Today reporter William Cummings. I have no reason to believe that this article is biased. He shares both Democratic and Republican tweets in response to Trump's tweets, and they are directed against Trump, but they are not necessarily biased. He's just sharing the public opinion. My third source comes from NBC News reporter Adam Edelman. I also believe there is no bias in this article. He focuses mainly on the George Washington University study and shares the facts on this study without taking a side in the argument. My fourth source comes from Town Hall reporter Courtney O'Brien. I believe that this study is biased towards the right side of politics. The title of the article is Trump Denies Revised Death Toll, Cue the Outrage. This implies satire towards the left side. The article is short and passive-aggressive, and it is not blatantly biased, but it does make snide comments towards those who disagree with Donald Trump. My fifth and final source comes from Washington Post reporters John Wagner and Joel Achenbach. I also have no reason to believe that this article is biased. He shares both the tweets surrounding the story and the studies involved. The George Washington University study is gone into in detail, and he shares where Trump is mistaken. He does say that Trump is incorrect, but I do not believe this is bias. I think he's just sharing the facts. So, fake news is everywhere in the media, whether you look on the news or on Twitter. This is why fact-checking your news sources is so important. Most of my sources are not biased, but even the biased ones still report the facts on the study. I use PolitiFact to help me research the bias and the accuracy of my sources. Amy Sherman from PolitiFact says that the George Washington University study is accurate. She says many factors, including distribution and transportation, access to food, water, medications, power, and other essentials, may have contributed to the death toll. Sherman also determines that Trump's allegations are false. So, all of my sources have presented info on the George Washington University study, and all of them have led to the conclusion that Trump's accusations are false, even the sources biased towards the right side of politics. George Washington University presented a study accepted by Democrats and Republicans alike, with the exception of Donald Trump. The loss of lives from any natural disaster is tragic. Hopefully, Hurricane Florence will not have this much controversy.
Good job.